Mom Brachas teaches us there's four people. A person goes through four different situations, four experiences, so he has to thank Hashem. Somebody who travels the seas, through the Yam, through the desert, through the Midbar, somebody who was very ill and recovered, or somebody who was in Nebuch in jail and was released from jail. Those four people, they experience a simcha, and that simcha has to be channeled to thank Hashem for saving them from the troubles that they went through. In our parsha, Tsav, the Torah teaches us how a person has to thank. A person has to bring a korban toida. It's a type of shlam. It's called a korban toida. It's a unique korban because besides the fact that you bring an animal as a korban, which we usually do, you also have to bring bread. 40 breads, 4 different types of 4 categories of 10 breads each. 3 of them are matzah, not chametz, and 1 of them is actually chametz, which is extremely unique because usually the rule is in the Beis Hamikdash for any korban, even a korban mincha that's made from flour, we don't use chametz, we use only matzah. Here, we dafki use chametz. In the absence of the Beis Hamikdash, because we don't have a Beis Hamikdash, so we don't bring this korban, what do? As is well known, we go to when we have an aliyah in the Torah, after one goes through one of these experiences, we make a bracha, Hagoyma l'chayov m'tovish k'malani kol tov. Hagoyma, we thank Hashem who granted the chayovim. Chayov means somebody who was chayiv, the culpable. Why do we say Hashem? We thank Hashem for the goodness that He did this, but why do we call ourselves chayovim? Because we were zeichet to be able to be released from this trouble, from this danger. So we say we are chayiv, we are culpable. What's the meaning of the word culpable? The Sforno gives an interesting explanation regarding the chametz breads. Why in this korban does the Torah allow us and actually demand from us that we bring not only the animal, not only matzah, which is a normal korban mincha, but we bring a strange korban mincha, the korban mincha which is made out of chametz. Says the Sforno, the famous Gemara, also the Gemara Bracha says that the Yetzer Hara is called the Sa'ar Shebe'isa. The Yetzer Hara is compared to the sourdough which is in the dough, which makes the dough rise. Why is the Yetzer Hara compared to the sourdough? Because the dough, as it is, doesn't rise. You put a little bit of sourdough and all of a sudden it rises. Same with the Yetzer Hara. A person is good, a person wants to do the right thing. The Yetzer Hara comes in, he ruins the person, he makes the person into chametz. He makes the person into chametz by causing him to sin. When a person is saved from a danger, of course we have to be grateful and we have to thank HaKadosh Baruch Hu for the fact that He saved us. We also have to realize that we were placed in that danger. And being placed in that danger was not coincidental. The reason why we were placed in that danger is because we, on a certain level, have to realize that we were chayovim, we were culpable. We had this Yetzer Hara that caused us to sin and caused us to be placed in that danger. And that's why to symbolize the Yetzer Hara which caused us to sin and placed in that situation, we bring one of the groups, the 10 chalas we bring are actually chametz. Rav Chagai Preschel was the previous Rosh Hashiva of Al Yaakov. In his Sefer B'Chag V'Yasela takes us one step further. He's quoting a Ramban. The Ramban says that for certain transgressions, for certain lavim, a person gets an einish of malchus, 40 lashes. Why 40 lashes? Says the Ramban in Sefer Dvarim and in Parsha Shoftim when we talk about the malchus. So says the Ramban, if there's a person is created in 40 days, say Chazal, the initial formation of a fetus in the womb is 40 days. The Torah was given in 40 days. The person of 40 days who didn't keep the Torah of 40 days receives the malchus of 40 days. Says Rav Chagai Preschel, perhaps this is also the symbolism over here, the symbol of bringing the 40 breads on the Lachmei Toida. Not only the chametz itself symbolizes the Yetzer Hara, but the entire number 40. A person is lacking in his person. He's not a shalim. He's not a shalim person. Otherwise, he would never have been placed in that situation. Just went through Purim. It was well known. The Gemara says the reason why the Yidden were placed in the danger was because they took part in the Suda of Achashverosh. And any normal political analyst who would have been looking at the situation during that time would not have connected the story that the Yidden find themselves under the wrath of Haman with a story that happened more than 10 years before. In the story of the Suda of Achashverosh, it would be much more logical to connect the anger of Haman to the fact that Mordechai is not bowing down to him. But Chazal understood that the entire Jewish nation is placed in danger not because of Mordechai who was not bowing down to Haman, which was a correct position that he took. It must be there was a sin, or there must be there was an Aveira. We have to always connect danger. We always have to connect the tragedies that Klal Yisrael find themselves in, always with some sort of lack in Shmiras HaMitzvahs, in Shmiras HaTorah. Of course, we live in a time when we don't have Nevi'im, we don't have prophets who can tell us this is because of that and this is because of that, but on a global level and on a general level, when we find ourselves in times of trials and tribulations, when the whole world is turned upside down, and when Yidden are fleeing, Yidden are found in such terrible situations, we have to realize it's not because of some Mordechai who's not bound to Haman. It's not because of a specific incident. We as Yidden have to realize that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is talking to us. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is telling us, look within yourselves. Yes, every person who is found in a place where HaKadosh Baruch Hu saves him has to thank Hashem for saving him. But while we're going through these difficult times, and even those who are able to get out of these times, those of us who are less affected, but we have to realize that as a whole, as a nation, as a Klal Yisrael, it's a time for introspection, it's a time to look for the Chametz, it's a time to look for the Yetzer Hara, and try to do what we can to become the better person, the better 40-day person that keeps the 40-day Torah. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu give us more and more experiences to be able to thank Him. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu help us identify those areas that will make us the better person. And as we just celebrating the Nisim of Purim, Sh'asa Nisim Laviseinu Ba'om Hem Azman Hazeh, we should be zeicher HaKadosh Baruch Hu should do Nisim v'neflois and Hatzalos, Refuis and Yeshuas to us in our times, and help us get through this difficult time. Good Shabbos and a Freilichen Shushan Purim.